Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Tojiro VG-10 hammered, or Tsushime, which is another name for that, Santoku 170mm knife. So the construction on this is a hardcore center cutting edge steel of VG-10 full stainless, which is used in tons and tons of knives all over the place, lots of brands. It's a good steel. Heat treats usually around 60, rock well on that. And what they've done is put a soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel. That cladding has a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, it's got a hammered finish to it. It's also got what's known as a kurouchi or blacksmith finish on top of that. And then you've got a frosted blade road, and where the grind starts, you can definitely see that, obviously, where the dimples kind of give way to the grind. And then there's your core steel peeking out towards the edge. And then you've got the actual edge bevel, that shiny part at the bottom there. That's the edge bevel itself. So there's a lot visually going on with these. The weights and dimensions can vary a little bit from knife to knife. This one is 135 grams, or 4.8 ounces. Edge length is about 170 millimeters, or 6.6 inches. And the overall length is about 11.9 inches. Spine thickness, these are fairly, I'd say, quite stiff knives. They're not super thick, but they're very stiff. So I got about 2.3 millimeters, and it just pretty much holds that. There's really not a distal taper to speak of, meaning it thins out on the spine as you get towards the edge. And you can see the grind's not super high on these. So it holds a lot of thickness on the tip until you get right down to there. So this tip is not going to like ghost or fly through stuff like a much thinner tip would. It's just not going to do that. But it does reasonably well given how thick it is, pretty close to the tip. Here is the grind, and it maintains a little bit of thickness towards the edge, and it kind of comes up pretty quick on that grind. So this can wedge a little bit in things, but it does surprisingly well. You'll have great food release and great food separation because you get that kind of quick angle going this way, and then a fairly aggressive shoulder here, even though you got the dimples there where it comes down. It's not like a smooth, continuous slope down towards the edge. It's just, you can see where it starts and it goes down towards the edge on both sides. Blade height is about 49 millimeters, so it's got a bit of height to it. The handle is just a basic D-shaped, kind of right-hand oriented, although I'm a lefty and I don't mind D-shapes at all. They don't bother me one bit. Hoe wood, which is a very light, some people call it magnolia wood, and then a resin or plastic ferrule, which is a sleeve that comes over the top. You'll always have a little bit of a step here between the resin ferrule and the wood. That's just the normal for these. So this one's not bad at all. So, you could even sand that down if you really wanted to, but it's, depending, if you're holding the blade like this on a pinch grip, you don't even really notice it. The handle circumference right here where the wood stops and the right before it hits the ferrule is about 74 millimeters, or a little under 3 inches circumference. And then you can, again, see that D shape there. The handle's quite light, and the blade's got a bit of oomph to it. So that's going to bring the balance point up a fair amount. So there's your balance point. That, for me, is just touch maybe in front of my pinch grip, but it's pretty close. So you do have a pretty neutral feel on a pinch grip. Although, you've got a little bit of a mass, so you can kind of feel that a little bit. Here is a beauty shot there. That's a good one. So it's a pretty neat, interesting blade. I'd give it a maybe 6 out of 10 for the edge sharpness. So you get a fairly, again, the edge is not super, super thin, so you can see the edge bevels a little bit wider, but that's just because they're doing a reasonably aggressive angle on it, but it's just a little bit thicker metal, so that's going to make your edge bevel a little bit bigger, a little wider. Again, it's a stiff blade. The grinds are pretty darn clean. Nice fit and finish. They've got a relief on the spine just a little bit. They've got nice relief on the choil into the neck, so very comfortable out of the box. Let's look at the edge profile. You can see the tip is very low, the sheep's foot point, but there's what it looks like. And just kind of a low curve. You're not going to get real high on that's not bad though, on a rock on this, but you can rock small stuff, and not a bunch of flat towards the back, just kind of a gentle belly throughout. So, not a pure rocker. They can rock a little bit, and not a pure chopper either, just kind of middle of the road. But that's what your edge profile looks like. So it's a very interesting looking knife, and it's got good steel in it. It's a proven steel. They use it in lots and lots of knives, and so it's a pretty neat little package. So this is the Tojiro VG-10 hammered Santoku 170mm knife.